further ado, Dr. Rob Bell.
Enjoyed Dr. Bell's message. When you think about some of the things that we incorporate in an athletic realm and elite level athletes, what we start to think about is things like he termed the hinge. So when we look at just what's brought everyone into the current situation where they're at, including us as coaches, I think you look and you reflect back on certain aspects of life, and he really brought that message home to where it kind of gives you to self-absorb and reflect upon yourself and some of the experiences that you've went through and some of the things that have led you to where you are. I think that's the message that we can take and drive home into our athletes, but as well taking it as a personal message within ourselves.
The other thing that I discovered simply was this. Going through this, I found out something that I found to be pretty fascinating, and it's that the process is more important than the product. I'm going to say it again. The process is more important than the product. Now, when I say that, I'm not diminishing the product at all. I'm not saying the product's not important. Like, we play to win the game, right? Hello? I love that one. We play to win the game. Like, winning, it beats losing. No one's ever going to say that, not winning the lottery is better than winning the lottery. I'm not saying that. So when I say the process is more important than the product, I'm not diminishing the product at all, because you all have experienced that moment. But in 1996, when Brett Favre holds up the Lombardi Trophy, I'll never forget this. He said, and this is a very, very emotional player, he said, "I have cried after losses, I have cried after wins." And when I held that up, I thought in my head, is that it? Is that it? What do you mean? When I go back and I look, Chuck Noll, when he would win a Super Bowl, would go through bouts of depression. Bill Walsh, when he won his third Super Bowl, is in the locker room celebrating all around him, and he said, "I felt like an outsider because I knew I was done coaching. I didn't even feel like part of the team." LT said, "You build it up so much that when it happens, nothing." And I can't tell you the amount of guys that I saw that actually said winning was a relief. Now, I'm not going to diminish that, but I want you to think about those that have had that championship. Why would they say that? You see, what Brett Favre meant at that time was that in that moment, it was over. What he really missed was that week 11 comeback when they were down 21-10. They overcame that adversity and that obstacle. That's what they missed. And he knew at that point it was over. He talked about, man, what was really fun was spending time in the weight room, spending time on the bus rides, being in that locker room. What we missed was playing that practical joke during Halloween on Coach. And at that moment, it was over. Process is more important than the product. If I was to ask you, what's the image you think about when you think about the championships that you have had? What's the image in your head? Is it you just by yourself? Or do you think about the obstacles and the adversity that you overcame, and you think about the relationships that you built along the way when you think about that moment? Process is more important than the product. Look, fellas, what I really believe is that we are in the process business. We are not in the results business. So when Joe Gibbs says that, look, it's not as much about having got it as it's about the struggle and overcoming the obstacles that you have to go through. When Bill Cowher says the chase becomes part of you, I didn't know how to act. Process over product. When we think about it, the weight room is the perfect process business that we're in. And we're either transformational coaches or we're transactional coaches. This either happens by design or it happens by default. The one thing I cannot stand about the media and why I hate the media is they finish every single championship exactly the same way. Before they sign off, and it doesn't matter what the championship is, they do something really disgusting. They say this, they'll say, "Man, do you think they can repeat? You think they can do it again?" Just like that. Media always wants us thinking ahead. And the guys aren't even probably out of the locker room. They say that at the Olympics. "Hey, do you think they're going to be back in 4 years?" Excuse me? even when we do have that, how long does that feeling last? And I'm not diminishing the product at all. I'm just saying the process that we go through is more important than that product. Check this. Process. We're going to play and practice and train way more than we're ever going to play. In our lives, we're going to have more losses, more setbacks than we're ever going to have wins. I believe that it's not about the setback, that it's always about the comeback. I'm going to say that again. I don't believe it's about the setback, it's always about the comeback. And it's not about what we get. It's about who we become and the lives that we impact along the way.